Hello, and welcome to Fluent English 10, the podcast where you learn real English in a simple, easy way. I'm your host, Anna, and today's episode is perfect for speaking practice. We will focus on daily use English, short, clear questions and natural answers. But don't worry, you don't need a speaking partner. I'll ask and answer every question for you. Your job is to listen, pause, repeat, and shadow my voice. This is great for building fluency, confidence, and pronunciation. Even if you're a beginner, we'll talk about everyday topics: your name, job, hobbies, food, time, feelings, and more. I will speak slowly and clearly so you can follow along easily. You can repeat after me, one sentence at a time or the full question and answer. Do this every day, and your speaking will improve faster than you think. Are you ready? Let's begin with some simple questions and answers for daily English practice. Where did you go last weekend? I went to a small beach town with 2 of my friends. It was a short trip, just 2 days, but enough to relax, enjoy the sea, and take a break from the city. How did you get there? We took a bus from downtown. It wasn't very fast. The ride took almost 4 hours. But we had snacks, water, and good music, so it wasn't too bad. What time did you leave your house? I left very early, around 6:30 in the morning. The streets were still quiet and dark. I felt sleepy, but also excited. I love road trips. Did you prepare everything the night before? Yes, I packed my bag the night before. I always like to get ready early. I took light clothes, a towel, flip-flops, sunscreen, and my little English notebook. Yes, I like writing in English when I travel. Just small words or sentences to describe my day. Was the bus ride comfortable? Not really. It was a little crowded, and I forgot my headphones. Big mistake. But I looked out the window and watched the trees and houses pass by. I also listened to people talking and tried to understand their English. And what did you see when you arrived? I saw palm trees, colorful buildings, and small cafes by the beach. There were people walking with sunglasses and beach bags. It felt peaceful and friendly. The town was quiet, with a soft wind and the sound of the ocean in the distance. How did you feel when you got there? Honestly, I felt tired from the trip, but also happy. I took a deep breath and smiled. The sea was close, and I knew it would be a good day. So, what did you do first when you arrived at the beach town? We left our bags at the hostel, changed clothes, and walked straight to the beach. The weather was perfect, warm but not too hot, with a little breeze. The sand was soft, the water was blue, and the sun was shining bright. I took off my shoes and walked near the water. It felt so fresh and calm. Did you go swimming right away? Not right away. First, we sat down on the sand and just relaxed for a few minutes. Then we went into the water slowly. It was cold at first, but very nice after a few minutes. How long did you stay in the water? maybe 20 minutes. We swam, talked, laughed. It was simple but so fun. Then we came back, dried off, and lay down in the sun. Did you eat anything at the beach? Yes. We bought cold drinks and shared some fruit and sandwiches we brought with us. It was a perfect little beach picnic. What did you do after the beach? In the afternoon, we walked around the town. There were small shops, colorful buildings, and friendly people everywhere. I bought a small souvenir, a keychain with a picture of the beach. Did you speak English with anyone? Yes, actually. At one cafe, I ordered coffee and cake in English. The waiter spoke a little English too, so it was a nice moment to practice. I said, "Hi, can I get one coffee and one piece of chocolate cake, please?" He smiled and said, "Sure, coming right up." That made me feel proud. Was the cafe nice? Very nice. It had plants, quiet music, and a big window with a view of the ocean. We sat there for almost an hour, just talking and enjoying the moment. How did you feel at the end of the day? I felt relaxed, happy, and peaceful. No stress, no phone, just fresh air and good company. So, what did you do after the cafe? After the cafe, we walked up a small hill to see the view of the town. There was a lookout point with a bench and trees. You could see the ocean and the whole coastline. We took pictures, laughed, and just sat there for a while, enjoying the view and the quiet wind. The sky was starting to change. Soft orange and pink. Sunset was coming soon. Did you stay to watch the sunset? Yes, of course. The sunset was one of the best parts of the trip. We went back to the beach, found a spot, and sat on our towels. The sun was slowly going down, turning the sky red, gold, and purple. It was peaceful. No loud noise, just waves, birds, and a few people taking photos. I took a short video on my phone and wrote in my notebook, "The sea is quiet. I feel calm." What did you do for dinner? After sunset, we were hungry again, so we looked for a place to eat. We found a small local restaurant with tables outside and lights hanging from the trees. The waiter gave us menus in Spanish and English. That was helpful. I ordered grilled fish with rice and vegetables, and it was delicious, fresh and full of flavor. We talked about the day, shared stories, and laughed a lot during dinner. I also practiced some polite English phrases like, "Excuse me, may I have some water?" The waiter smiled and said, "Yes, of course." It felt good to speak naturally. Did you do anything after dinner? Yes. There was a small night market in the main square with lights, music, and handmade things. We walked around, looked at bracelets, candles, soaps, and paintings made by local artists. I bought a small notebook with a drawing of the beach on the cover. A woman at one of the stands said, "Thank you for visiting." And I answered, "Your work is beautiful." I felt proud again. It was a short English moment, but a real one. And what time did you go back to the hostel? It was already late, maybe 10 p.m. We were tired, but very happy. Back at the hostel, we sat outside for a while, drinking tea and watching the stars. I looked up and thought, this was a perfect day. I spoke English, I smiled, I learned. What did you do the next morning before leaving the beach town? We woke up early, around 7 a.m., and decided to go for a morning walk. The streets were quiet. Most people were still asleep, and the shops were just opening. There was a soft wind, and the air smelled like fresh bread and sea salt. We walked to a small park near the beach. It had trees, flowers, and wooden benches. I sat down with my coffee and just listened to the sounds, birds, waves, and distant voices. I took out my English notebook again and wrote a few words about how I felt. I wrote, peaceful morning. I feel light and calm. English is slowly becoming part of my life. We didn't talk much. We just walked slowly, enjoying the last moments in the town. I saw a bookstore with English signs, so I went in for a quick look. There were simple English books for learners, so I bought one, a short story collection. The woman at the counter asked, "Is this for you?" I smiled and said, "Yes, I'm learning English. I like to read when I travel." She said, "That's wonderful. Keep going." And that made me smile even more. It was a small moment, but full of encouragement and connection. After the walk, we went back to the hostel, packed our bags, and got ready to leave. What time did you leave the town and head back home? We left around 11 a.m. after checking out of the hostel and taking one last photo at the beach. The sun was shining, the air was warm, and it was hard to say goodbye. We walked to the bus station with our bags and a few small souvenirs in hand. The bus arrived on time. We found our seats and got comfortable for the long ride back. How did you feel during the trip home? I felt calm, a little tired, and also grateful. It was a short trip, but full of meaning. I looked out the window, thinking about the beach, the town, the people, and the little moments I loved. I also thought about how I used English, not perfectly, but with confidence and real purpose. Each time I said a phrase or answered a question, I felt more natural, more ready. Did you speak English on the way back too? Not much. The bus was quiet, but I opened my new book and read the first few pages. Some words were difficult, but I understood the main ideas. I underlined a few sentences and repeated them in my mind, like a mini shadowing session. It felt good. I wasn't just a tourist. I was a learner, growing a little every day. What did you do when you got home? I took a shower, unpacked, and made some tea. Then I sat down with my notebook. I I wrote a short paragraph in English about the trip. Not perfect, but full of real feeling. I wrote, I spoke English, I listened, I tried, I made mistakes, but I learned. And that sentence made me smile. Because it was true. So, how does a simple story like this help you learn English better? Because this story uses real words, real situations, and real feelings, just like daily life. When you hear questions and answers, your brain starts to learn the rhythm of English conversations. You see how we use basic verbs, polite expressions, and simple grammar in a natural way. Repeating these phrases helps you remember them and use them when you speak with others. Also, telling a story makes the language more meaningful and emotional, not just memorizing words. You connect words to pictures, sounds, and feelings in your mind, and that helps them stay longer. Shadowing helps you practice your pronunciation, speaking speed, and sentence structure all at the same time. Even if you speak alone, you're still training your brain, your tongue, and your ear. The more you do it, the more natural and automatic English becomes for you. This is not just listening. It's active speaking. It's real practice with real language, and every sentence you repeat brings you one step closer to fluency. So keep listening, keep speaking, and keep telling your own stories in English. Thank you so much for joining me today on Fluent English 10. I hope you enjoyed the story and practiced your English with me. Remember, every sentence you speak brings you closer to confidence and fluency. Don't wait to be perfect. Just speak, try, and enjoy the process. If you liked this episode, please give it a like, comment below, or share it with a friend. You can listen again and repeat the phrases to keep improving. I'm Elena, and this was Fluent English 10. Keep learning, keep speaking, and always believe in your English. See you next time.